Hello, you all. It's Agnes coming to you with the project that I had in my camera for the longest time ever. It is a project that includes everything with the book pages, and literally every single one of you have that at home. So as you can see, is I do have a cardboard, and I did have a book pages, and now I'm just using the plate and a soup bowl to measure my circles because I am going to attempt to make a wreath. I'm not going to chase for no forms. We're going to create our own. So I'm getting my knife, a utility knife, and I'm just simply cutting it all nicely around. And even if it becomes wonky, it really doesn't matter because you're not going to see this portion. This is for us to just have the frame. So I am just getting through it. And of course, you have to be careful when you do that. That's it. The circle is done, and I'm not going to really worry about the outside. I'm just going to use my monster scissors, and I go to town with them, and I'm going to try to cut this much faster. See how fast it is? And now we have the reframe. Boom. Okay, so now I do have a little paper that actually something from Home Goods was packed. So I decided to simply twist it a little bit and add the hot glue to the base of my created reform and hot glue it all around to bring some dimensions, right? We need to be creative. So here we go, twisting as I go so it doesn't unwind. And it is super easy. This portion, you can literally do whatever you want. And even if you do not stay in line, it's still okay. So that's it. I'm cutting the remainder of my paper out and making sure that it's all packed in together. And now it's time to move on to another part of our wreath. So this time is the book pages. So all what I like to do with my small book pages is fold them in half and then fold each side in half again. So you do have, I do not want to create the harmonica. I just wanted to create some kind of a movement. And so it does have, it looks better on a wreath. So that's it. I'm not going to hold you through this whole process because obviously you know what I'm doing. So now I am taking each one of those folds and I'm wrapping my wreath, I'm wrapping my reform and of course hot gluing it right to the end. And of course I'm so excited that I did not wait for the hot glue to cool off. That's how fast I want to make that wreath. So here we go, it's again. And you do want it to try to stay as close as you can to the sizes, to the length of those pieces. So you just go all around it. And even if a little bit of the our paper that's underneath, hidden on the reform shows, it is still okay. Because there are so many things you can do to it. And I'm telling you, yes, we did have a clothespins back in Poland. We could have actually do it, but you know what? We did not have those reforms. We had the cardboard and we had the paper. So that was our way of creating that I see right now in the United States. You guys are making the clothespins wreath. So here we go. We have the first layer and look how nice and even all is. So now we have to continue with the second row. The second row is about folding not even on the angle each strip and then hot gluing it right on the back of the first one. Trying to keep similar distances. Obviously, it is a handmade material. So it's again, folding it not in half, almost in half, and then hot gluing it right at the back. And just continue all around as we did with the previous row. It does take a while, and I have to tell you, the second portion, the second layer of the book pages is much faster, I guess, to see, because you do actually see the results. So we are building a little bit of a sunburst. Of course, add a lot of layers to it as it goes, but I usually like to stop on the first one. You can actually make the opening of your wreath a little bit bigger. But it's again, it all depends on where are you putting. And I usually like to have the medium size of the wreath. As you can see, I'm almost at the end. Super excited. And it's again, you can leave it the way it is. You can continue, as I used to do with my mom, and create the a paper bow. You can make the beautiful flowers, the coffee filter flowers that we already learned, or just leave it the way it is. Add some pearls here and there. My goodness, there are so many options, and I so hope that you're going to give a try for this wreath and try to make one. So the wreath is done. As you can see, is no paper underneath is showing, and how even that is. So I do have some flowers that I'm going to, actually the soda wood flowers that I'm going to somehow, add to my wreath with a little bit of the satin bow. Believe it or not, I found my satin bow, and I think that's the way to go. So I'm just going to twist it on the side. Most likely that's what my placement is going to be, and I'm going to randomly just place my flower with the bit of the hot glue all around it and start to build it up. Just because it does have that, for me, a vintage look, I'm going to keep it super simple. I'm going to maybe introduce a little bit of the moss and a little bit of the color, maybe. No, I think I'm going to stay with the beiges. I think it's the better choice. That's it, all different flowers right there. I absolutely love it. I'm so happy that I finally made one. A little bit of the fussing here and there, because obviously I need to look, and I know that I'm going to be looking at this wreath and this whole composition as I see it on the wall. But in the meantime, I'm just going to stack in my satin bow. And of course, that's how I do it. I just make a loop and stuck it in there and have it flowing. And I'm going to fill the spaces in between with the little bit of the moss, I think, and maybe a tiny amount of pearls, just so it has that nice full look to it. I think it's all good right now. You see the little moss? I just love it. The little touches here and there, and it looks like it was meant to be. Of course, I had to take it on the side and look it from the distance, because how it goes. You can't really see it when you're looking from up top. And I think for now I'm going to leave it the way it is. So just wait up, don't go anywhere. I'm going to show you some pictures. Of course, I had to add a couple of the pearls in there, and of course, look again. And here is the close-up of the little flower cluster that I've created, scattered with pearls, a little bit of satin, and a little bit of the moss. And I actually do like the feel of this wreath. I may later add some shading to it, but it's, again, as with everything that I make, especially when I use the new materials, I like to look at it to make sure that this is what it is. But I will for sure post later a still picture so you can see the wreath better in its glory, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So I really hope I inspired you, and I cannot wait to hear what you think about it. And if you did like it, please don't forget to sprinkle.